Hi everyone, as promised, I wanted to just make a video and sit down and go over our numbers a little bit. And before we do, I just want to say that I never want to come across as being braggadocious or prideful. There's nothing prideful about being $115,000 in debt, but talking about the leaps and bounds that we're making through this process, I only ever want to express gratefulness and just continue to walk in humility. But the purpose of this video is just to be transparent for the sake of encouraging others who are on the same path as us or who are thinking about getting on a path like this. Or maybe you're just looking at that big number and you're like, what do I do? You're feeling helpless. Dave Ramsey calls that your never again moment. Never again am I going to feel like this. Maybe that's you. That's why we wanted to be transparent about the numbers. Let's dive into it real quick. We have lived in the missionary apartment, which is where we're sitting now, for 2 months, and our church is letting us stay here expense-free. Words can't even describe what kind of a blessing that is. So we've been here for 2 months. Our last video was us moving in, and while moving out of our other place, soon after that, we just kind of hit the ground running and started working a lot. So we've already made 2 months of progress. We started at the end of July 2020, and at the time, we had been paying my student debt for about a year, and we were making more than minimum payments, but we hadn't gotten really aggressive with it yet. So our starting number is actually not exactly the number that we started at because we had been paying on my debt for some time. The number that we started with in July was $112,660.10. So we said $115,000. We were rounding a little bit. I'm not a type A person. But here we are. In the month of August, we paid $3,046.32 toward our loans. And at the time, we were kind of cleaning up the mess of interest that had built up on stuff that had been ignored. So it was kind of dispersed in random areas on different loans that were kind of sitting there. And it wasn't until September that we were able to basically pause all payments and focus on one loan at a time. And in September, we paid $6,982.15 toward our loans. That was a good feeling.
It was so awesome.
In the month of September, we paid off one whole loan, one whole student loan. Take that, Sally Mae.
Bye-bye.
And it was at a little bit more than 8.5%, which I find unbelievable.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're loan sharks.
The interest on those
is insane.
Is horrendous.
Absolutely insane. We paid one of them off. We have 4 loans total at interest rates around that, 8.5 to 9.5%, and we're considering those the top priority. To be completely transparent, we're kind of fudging the debt snowball a little bit. We have a bunch of other little loans at about 3% that all add up to about 50 grand. But then we have these 4 mean, nasty 8.5, 9.5% loans, and we just wanted to nail those real quick. Mm-hmm. And I know someone's going to say, hey, you should refinance those, but at our current rate, we're going to be able to pay them off before the end of the year, and they don't have interest until the end of the year because of coronavirus.
Thank you, Corona. No.
I don't know if we thank Corona for that.
We don't.
In the month of October, we were able to increase the amount that we paid toward our debt to $7,662.47. Mm-hmm. And that knocked another of those 4 mean loans down to around $2,000. So next month, we're going to pay off another one of those, and then we'll only have 2 left, which we're so excited about.
It's really a good feeling to knock out 1, but then to knock out 2 in the matter of like 3 or 4 months is insane. Yeah. And you can do it too, I promise.
Yeah. And if you're new to the baby steps, as we call them in the Ramsey community, in baby step 2, you're technically supposed to start with the smallest loan. So we are breaking the rules. And I know that some of the personalities would be like, oh, don't mess with the recipe, you're being Dave-ish. We are making the most of the coronavirus CARES Act kind of situation where all of the loans are without interest for now, and it's truly like no interest. It's not deferred. It's not. We're not going to get penalized for it. we're taking advantage of that right now, and we are paying on loans that aren't our smallest loans. Mm-hmm. So I'm just throwing that out there. Gotta confess.
We had to, with these interest rates that we have on these loans.
Well, yeah.
The fact that they have no interest right now,
and especially
is insane.
It's a huge blessing that it has worked out this way. But my point is that that's why we're not refinancing them. If we were in a regular year and those things actually were at that interest rate, it wouldn't make sense to spend 6 months paying all 4 of those loans off if they were actually rolling over on themselves at that rate every month. But because they're not, we're just knocking them out. Whenever we started this process, between the two of us, we were taking home between $5,000 and $6,000 a month. I work at the church as the music minister, and Heather is an elementary music teacher. So between the two of us, we were making around $90,000 before taxes. Since we began baby step 2, we are now between $9,000 and $10,000 take-home pay per month. I was able to take another full-time job working in construction, and I'm driving Uber, and I'm teaching some guitar lessons. Heather looks forward to being able to take a job in the summer because she's a teacher. So, after 2 months of progress, our number has gone below the 6-figure mark.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Raise the roof!
Raise the roof. In 2 months, we have paid $17,690.94 toward our student loans. So now our total number is $94,969.16. We are officially below the 6-figure mark. We knocked off a whole digit.
In your face, Sally Mae.
Yeah, take it, Sally Mae. We're going to kick her out of our house.
You can't live here anymore.
She's going out on the street. Yeah, out on the street.
Right now she's living, well, she's not living she's living rent-free. We're paying her to live here.
We are paying her rent, and we don't even like her.
We hate her.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Well, yeah, we do.
We hate her.
It just sounds harsh because it's an allegory, but it's not a real person. It's just...
I promise, Sally's not
a
real.
soulless corporation.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about a person.
Yeah, Sally. Okay.
If your name is Sally, we don't hate you. So we are super excited about the progress that we have made so far. Obviously, we have a long way to go, but we're going to be out of debt in a little over a year. As long as no one breaks a leg, we might get pregnant in that amount of time. She wants that, especially. I do too, but not yet.
Not yet.
Thanks to the generosity of our church and the amazing and just indescribable provision of the Lord, His providence in our life. The extra job that I was able to get, full-time job, that was through one of our pastor's son, who owns a construction company, and he knew my old boss from when I used to work in construction before I studied music. So really, it's just all connected, and it all kind of connects back to our community. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't encourage you enough. If you are a Christian and don't have a church, find a church, because that's what Christian community is all about. And I think intergenerational congregations especially, because we've just had the counsel of such wise people who have already run the race, and that has been an immeasurable blessing. If you're not a Christian and you're not a church-going person, have a community like that. Whether that's on the Baby Step community on Facebook, I have found that to be encouraging. Mm-hmm. Watching the YouTube videos, commenting, I have found that people in the Ramsey community are just so kind and encouraging. That's a good place to start. If you have a few people in your corner, on your side, cheering you on, it's just super helpful. But we definitely wouldn't be on the track that we're on without our community around us. Mm-hmm. So praise be to God. All the glory goes to Him, and we're just so thankful and humbled, and I pray that you are encouraged as we continue on this journey. And if you are undecided right now and you just feel crushed and helpless, you can do it. Mm-hmm. You really can do it. Yeah. You may make less money than us or more money than us, but irregardless, if you can get on a budget and stay on track and just have self-discipline and like I said, have some people to encourage you, even if it's just on that Facebook group, on the Baby Steps community. having people cheer you on. You can do it. Even if it's a matter of 3 or 4 years, it can be done.
Thank you guys for watching. We will be posting updates here and there of our journey through paying off Sally Mae.
Hey, I don't know when our next video will be, but we love you guys, and we will do it. I think we've made our point. Take care.